3, 2.
Welcome everyone to Real Leaders for the Global Goals. I'm your host, Kevin Edwards. Alongside me today, we have Pritha Dutt, the co-founder of Empower Pragati. Pritha, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
So why is Empower Pragati important, and what are some of the problems that it's solving?
Okay, so as you know, our country, India, has about, one of the world's youngest youth population, and we are growing at a very fast pace. Unfortunately, the 650 million youth, and that's like in 10 years' time, that will become about 800 million youth. About 60% of them are not able to get meaningful employment because of lack of access to either education or skills, or lack of access to meaningful employment opportunity. Having worked in the corporate sector for many years, it was something that was, gnawing at the bottom of my heart and mind, that how can I make a difference to youth who actually can do with better, shot at life, and can skills and training provide that. And the opportunity came almost like a little bit of co-work that happened with the government as well, when they set up a PPP venture, a public-private partnership venture with business bodies and the government, to see how can private enterprise, people like us, participate in making some small difference to these millions of youth who need jobs and skills. So that's how we started.
So how are you now providing jobs and opportunities to the youth in the private sector?
Okay, one of the things is at the bottom of the pyramid, there are jobs, and I'm saying two bottom of pyramids. One is bottom of the pyramid for youth, for poor people, which is the 450 million odd. The other is jobs that are the blue and the brown collared work, does not require very high levels of education, but does require skills. You need to get vocationally skilled. What we are doing is providing short-term vocational skills to these youth and providing them jobs in companies. And so that could be all the way from, rice farmer, paddy farmer, loader, data entry operator, welder, plumber, electrician, about some 45 jobs in which we skill people and provide them, then employment, either wage employment, or also help them set up their own enterprise by providing them access to microcredit and funding, so that they can start something on their own, because not everybody can migrate from a village or a town to work in the big cities for jobs. So some of them, you need them to provide employment right then. So in the last this is our 10th year, we've reached out and provided skills to about 0.4 million youth, 4 lakhs, that's 0.4 million youth. And jobs to about 50% of that, which is a large number.
Well, how are you reaching these people? How are they figuring, or how are they finding Empower Pragati?
Good question. It's a multi-approach. One is that the government has taken this as a national mission. So the Prime Minister, for example, of the missions that he's personally following up, Skill India, Stand Up India, and Startup India is part of the national agenda as well. So there is enough, I shall say, advocacy that's happening from that end. So youth are aware that there are these, organizations such as ours around to help them. That apart, you then have to reach out. So we reach out to villages. We go and talk to village elders. We are in schools and colleges. We do discussions with youth bodies. And, the first big task is convincing them to get skill trained and to take up a job. Because either they are, have kind of not interested in taking up skill training. Skill training in our country has an attitudinal, it's a mindset. I don't want to become a welder or a plumber or I'd rather kind of get graduate and then still look for a job, because the graduate unemployed issue is even larger. Or they would like to pick a government job, which is like, provides them security for life. So we have to go counsel, meet, motivate, cajole and help them come up. We talk to parents, we talk to other stakeholders, whether it is community leaders, people that youth look up to. We use a lot of social media, by the way, in terms of reaching out, because young people today are very accessible on social media. We do camps. We give teaser this thing. We ask you to come and attend classes for a few days to get hooked on to training and learning, and then jobs. We partner with companies in order to come and provide guest lectures, internship opportunities. So it's a whole host of things.
Sounds like it. The one thing I did pick up from that was, and it's the same here in America, is not everyone is built for school and education and university.
Yes.
What's the vision for Empower Pragati, and how do you tap into that market? Or I guess, where do you see this going in the next 10 to 15 years?
So I think there are two things. One is, I was just mentioning that while we are focusing on the bottom of the pyramid, that is youth who have not had access to higher education or meaningful, professional education, and then linking them, providing them skill training and jobs. But we're finding that the problem of the graduate unemployment is an even bigger problem. So one, we are tackling the graduate unemployed. In fact, that percentage of unemployment is even higher than the uneducated unemployed. So the graduate unemployed is
Really?
even higher, yes. Number two is there are countries around the world where there is a shortage of skilled manpower. So we are partnering through the government with countries that need manpower. That's the Middle East, that's several parts of the world, at least for blue and brown collar, trained to international standards, and so you can provide that connection.
Okay, wonderful. Well, Pritha, thank you so much for being on the show. We've learned a lot today, and I think it's going to be very interesting to see how programs like yours and others are going to be able to provide more jobs, and the impact that will have, not only in India, but like you said, in these countries around the world, can do anything. So Pritha, thank you so much for your time here on the show. Any last words or any places you could tell our audience where to go to find more information?
Yes. I mean, log on to empowerpragati.in. Empower Pragati is one word, .in. I think whether you're a private sector, a company, hire our people, whether you need to do it as an inclusive business model for your business, please participate and help us grow and reach out to millions more of youth across the country.
Pritha, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Kevin.
For Pritha Dutt, I'm Kevin Edwards, asking you all to keep it real.